So Ukwuani Benanu, Ukwuani trumpet, Nekinono, Kete, and Ukwuani trumpet, and you know Biarco, Nimi, and your Ukwuani. If you carried no Biarco, Arne, Ogba, Secretariat, Yabibi, Ochichi, Ukwuani, then I know the Nachiani, Ajede. Karishna, didn't bell, I didn't bell, Macone, Unyo Cordo, Emmanuel Ukwuani, Yabu local government chairman. Kete, Kayan, where in the Wobsako, Ochichi, Asusu, no Sunishi, Yabifu Iboponi, budget. Ajede or the Wadi Equakenu, Yan and the councilors, Yabunda Nano Chenya, Union Wardwire, Union Bodaya, Sanchana Adizu, Watwilulu, Atuilulu, and Organisu, Eloke me Fena, budget ticket or Banifi, Ajede. Adijoga Kranik, Agunyop and Napachon, Ukwuani trumpet, Chabiko, Kojikini, Tena self, even Ukwuani Antena, Marifi, Unyabu, Unyakodo, Emmanuel Ukwuani. Ne ochichi ụmụ ọchịchị dị n'okpuru ya na na-arụ n'ụbọchị kete banye ne organisu Ukwuani adịnekene dịka ọgụ kenu bụ onye bụkwa Chukwu Honorable Solomon Possible Ajede nọsa ekọrụ aya chiam bene shagidele n'ojie n'Ukwuani dị na-agọ ndụ aya ele na-agọ n'anya Ukwuani ele ka ọsụwa na-agọ ele ka Chukwu na-edore n'obi ka ya anekene ekene Chinebapsa na agwasunye ọbụla na-eso akpachi onye Ukwuani trumpet chabelo for YouTube channel the Ukwuani trumpet no force uji Ukwuani trumpet ne channel ne so Ukwuani kosancha Ajede shegwa.
I am Honorable Gabriel Otunebobo. I represent constituency 10 Amai. As the majority leader of the house, we record a lot of issues that have been happening in this house that needed sanity. And these issues have to do with one of our honorable members, Honorable Ukwuani LGA Victor, who is from Asian constituency 19. And you agree with me that we read out a lot of issues emanating from his activities concerning this honorable house and the council at large. We suspended him indefinitely and later called him back to ensure he carries out his legislative duties. But to my greatest surprise, I am also seeing online, even paperwork, that this same Honorable Ukwuani LGA Victor has embarked on suing not just the executives, including the legislative arm, over financial reportage. This is a sacrilege, this is an abuse of power, this is gross misconduct, because I cannot remember Honorable Ukwuani LGA Victor raising any motion in this house as per the 2025 budget performance of the executive. You agree with me that countless times we've been able to engage the executive on the budget performance, which the executive chairman, the torchbearer of the Duma agenda, has also appeared before us here to reel out the budget performance of the fiscal year 2025. And you also agree with me that the House of Assembly has also audited the local governments across Delta State and then released the budget performance of the year from the 25 local government areas across Delta State, and it has been made open on air. So it is a sacrilege for an honorable member from this house to go to the extent of going to court without raising any motion with regards to this or exhausting internal mechanism on how we can be able to achieve whatever he wants us to achieve. So on this note, with the provision of the law and that of provision of the law from the 2017 as amended of the Delta State local government laws and that of our standing order, especially of section 20E, which states that any erring member can be dealt with. On this note, I hereby move a motion that Honorable Ukwuani LGA Victor should be suspended from this honorable house until the case in court has been duly dealt with. I so move. Thank you.
Suspending Honorable Ukwuani LGA Victor representing Asian District 19 against his misconduct and insult to this institution has been moved. Second that is.
Thank you, Mr. Leader.
My name is Honorable Frank Enefazu. I represent the good people of Ward 16 Obiarako. There's a common adage. I am going to second the motion with a little addition to what you have said. It's a common adage that it takes a mentally unstable person to do one thing over and over again and expect a different result. This attitude of this honorable member has been a recurring decimal to the business of this house. And I rise now to wholeheartedly corroborate with the statement made by the position of the majority leader to suspend Honorable K. Victor, pending when the issues he has taken to court is amicably resolved. I so second.
And he has also introduced a comment. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. On this note, we are mandating the clerk of the House to communicate the executive arm that has been suspended in this House chamber without salary and any other entitlement. Thank you, and God bless you. So moving forward, Majority Leader move the motion to partially eliminate the executive chairman of the local government and his team.
Academic leader, the clerk of the House, and my distinguished honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Gabriel Otunaigogo. I represent constituency 10, Amai, and the majority leader of this honorable House. We are aware that the executive chairman, the torchbearer of the Duma agenda, and his team are right here before us. And on this note, I am moving a motion to usher in the executive chairman and his team come before the chamber to enable us carry out the business of the day. I so move. Thank you.
For the sole aim of today's plenary, which is the presentation of 2026 career project, has been moved. Second, please.
I, Honorable Kevin Dame, representing the good people of Ward 18, I rise to second the motion moved by Honorable Gabriel Igbo. I so second.
Motion to enable the executive chairman to be ushered in and removed, and that is duly seconded. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The executive chairman of the local government, honorable members of the Ukwuani LGA Chairman, clerk of the House, member of the Executive Council, head of the department and agency, staff of Ukwuani LGA Chairman, former leader of the House, right honorable members of the House, other former councillors here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the legislative and local government, I have the honor and privilege to warmly welcome the executive chairman and his team to this August chamber on the occasion of the presentation of the 2026 fiscal budget. Executive chairman, presentation of annual budget is one of the most important constitutional responsibility of any administration. It reflects the vision, priorities, and commitment of government to the welfare and development of the local government. The exercise therefore provides another opportunity for us as improving socio-economic well-being of the Ukwuani people. The Executive Council recognizes its constitutional role in budget consideration, scrutiny, and approval. We wish to assure the Executive Chairman and the entire Executive that this House will give 2026 project a thorough objection and timely consultation, guided by the principle of transparency, accountability, and the royal interest of the constituents. We are confident that the proposal contained in the budget will address key areas such as infrastructure development, education, healthcare, agriculture, youth empowerment, grassroots development, across the whole of our local government. Whereas necessary, this House will offer constructive input to further strengthen the budget effective implementation. Mr. Chairman, the Executive remain committed to the harmonious co-functioning and co-promotion respect and shared experience in the rural development of the good people of the Ukwuani. Together, we are sure that during the fiscal year delivered and will benefit and sustainable improvement to our people. Once again, the Executive Chairman, you are most welcome, and we look forward to the formal presentation of the 26th fiscal year budget. Thank you, and God bless you upon the government. Thank you.
Our dynamic leader, the Executive Chairman of the local government area, the Vice Chairman, members of Executive Council, our former leader, the Deputy Leader, my distinguished honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. With the presence of the torchbearer of the Dumo agenda, Honorable Barrister Solomon Possible Ajede, I, Honorable Gabriel Otunaigogo, who represents constituency 10 and 9, and the majority leader of Ukwuani 8th Assembly, hereby move a motion to enable the Executive Chairman to reel out the 2026 fiscal year budget to this Honorable House to enable us move ahead to develop Ukwuani local government area in this year 2026. I so move. Thank you.
Motion to enable the Executive Chairman for onward position and 2026 fiscal year budget has been moved. Second,
the Executive Chairman of the Council, the distinguished leader of the 8th Assembly, honorable members here present, our former leader here present, and the executives of the Council here present as well. I am Honorable Ukwuani Ajede, representing the good and peace-loving people of Okuzu Obiwe. I rise to second this motion moved by my majority leader. I so second.
motion to 2026 fiscal year budget has been moved. And it has been duly seconded. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The leader of Ukwuani City, Honorable Dura Pinch on your side, the Vice Chairman of the Council, very distinguished principal officers of the Council, members of the legislative and of Ukwuani local government that are seated here, the secretary to the local government, the HPM of the local government, the treasurer of council, top management staffs of the local government. Of course, also permit me, Mr. Leader, to observe the presence of the immediate past leader of this polo chapter, who also took role as my special advisor. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, Mr. Leader, I want to thank you profusely. Of course, please, before I progress, let me also recognize the clerk, our very principal officers, very disciplined principal officers of the legislative. Mr. Leader, I want to thank you profusely and profoundly thank you and other distinguished members for the opportunity to appear before the Solo Chambers again to perform our constitutional duties of putting together the proposal, the goals and aspirations of the Ukwuani document and further present before you for consideration and approval. Mr. Leader, we are very, very happy, indeed happy that this opportunity has created itself again in the annals of the Ukwuani Local Government Council. Mr. Leader, I will go straight. I will try as much as possible to take all the documents that we have here in sequence for proper understanding, Mr. Leader. Mr. Leader, you know that about this time last year, we were here to present the budget of 2025 to the Solo Chamber for consideration and approval. Mr. Leader, under your watch and with the very detailed and supervised what I call diligent eyes of very distinguished members here, that document came through this house and was given approved necessary approvals. Mr. Leader, just before I also deliver the one I have here today, I also privilege the agents and members that it is our request also that this one will be given that approval. But suffice it to say, Mr. Leader, if I move on to begin to present the 2026 budget, without also briefing this house how far we have fared in the time past, it will also not augur well. You will recall that in the mid last year, 2025, July 16 to be precise, Mr. Leader, I was in this Solo Chamber to present my report card. I was here, we have briefed the house, how far we have traveled, what we have been able to use the money and the income revenues that came to Ukwuani to do for Ukwuani people. And we'll give that detailed account. We christened that a given account of stewardship, even though that report was replete with details and account and what we have done so far. But today came Mr. Leader, in the 2025 budget, we did not do badly, Mr. Leader. We tried as a council to ensure that all that were sent to the council, we tried to our best to try to apportion it and utilize it to the benefit of the Ukwuani people. Mr. Leader, in the year 2025, we had and received the total money we received in the council was about 5,085,000,000 naira 45,699 naira 48 kobo. Mr. Leader, because of the agrarian nature of our local government, Mr. Leader, we also embarked on the pursuit of eternally generated revenue in the local government. Mr. Leader, we also were able to mobilize the sum of 24 million 320,000 naira, which also came to the coffers of the council as internal generated revenue. Mr. Leader, this brought the total sum of the money we had in our hand to 5 billion or 10 million to 65,899 naira 48 kobo. Mr. Leader, as the year began, we started our expenditure. Of course, you know the components of the recurrent expenditure. The component of the recurrent expenditure because of the uniform procedures that local governments in the state have adopted and the similar framework of the budget and budgeting processes. We were advised at the budget office, particularly the office of the Auditor General of the State, to try to move in all intangible items into the recurrent. So the recurrent as such, the year ending December 2025, we had about 3 billion 998 977 945 49 naira 85 crore. And the capital project we did was 1 billion 57 million 782 745 97 crore. Now, this recurrent and what have you also composed of salaries that were paid and all other spendings incident here too. I shall unbundle same as I begin to give details of this year's project to tell you how these things were able to. So at the end of the day, we did a total of 5 billion. If you put the figures together, our salaries or the recurrent components and our capital projects and what have you, were able to come up with the sum of 5 billion 56 million 760 695 naira 82 crore. Mr. Leader, this is what we have prepared as a financial state account for the year that we intend to transmit to the State House of Assembly, who from year in, year out, supervise our spending in the local government, and that is what we will transmit to them, and very soon the invitation will come from the House of Assembly for us to go and defend. Just to register that, every year, and in accordance to the law that is guiding our operations in the local government. Local governments have always appeared before the State Houses of Assembly to give account of what they receive and what they spend to enable transparency to install in the process. And I can tell you that Ukwuani local government have done that for the past years I've been in the council, and I can tell you that, Mr. Leader, we're not doing well. We're not doing badly at all. The analysis therein, I will try as much as possible to make it and break it down and see the detailed spending of the capital and the recurrent so that you understand how much we use in payment of salary, we use in payment of this, we use in payment of that. Mr. Leader, I thought that this point is critical because if we now move on to begin to talk about the budget of this year, without not telling you what we saw in the previous year, it becomes that we will be moving like a vehicle without light. Mr. Leader, having said that, I like to, with your permission, again to proceed straight to present the budget of 2026. But before I do that, Mr. Leader, we have also done the analysis as it were, so that this solo chamber will be well abreast with the facts and figures and details as they proceed in considering the budget. They will try as much as possible to put the square peg in the square hole. Mr. Leader, because of the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the more agenda of His Excellency, very distinguished Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Okorore, more agenda. In Ukwuani here, even though our administration is starting to do more agenda, we have also decided to say that because the critical nature of this year, a year preceding the date, this administration will take a bow naturally and go into the history of the past. We decided to christen to this budget presentation the normal Ukwuani budget 2026. Now, what informed that is that this budget is characterized with human capital development as the major and the fulcrum of this budget. We have also said that there are a number of capital projects we are doing in the local government. There is need for us to also complete them and embark on very new ones before we take a bow. Mr. Leader, the way the budget is structured, all the provisions are made and all the wards in the local government, we have also tried to allocate less than the INEC code, less than about 200 million naira to each of them to be able to accomplish these processes. That is to say that the distribution of commonwealth will be equal to all wards in the local government. There is no ward that is bigger than each other. I must take a leave at this point to try to expatiate what has become an issue of concern in the local government. In the time past, His Excellency, during one of the outings, informed Deltans that he is ready as the torchbearer of the more agenda, that this budget of 2026, he has been able to make provision for each local government the sum of 4 billion naira to execute capital projects in each of the local government. But this particular statement of His Excellency has been well misinterpreted by a lot of our people. Some people say that 4 billion naira has been transmitted to the chairman and is in the chairman's pocket. And this issue has continued to rent the public space. But I feel that it is in my onus to be able, as a government official, to be able to inform Ukwuani people that all that we have received, we have deployed to the development of Ukwuani. But that particular statement is in the form of projects His Excellency we do for Ukwuani people this year. And I can tell you, His Excellency is in high spirits. The last time we met with him, his interest is that he must accomplish projects that are people-oriented, that will benefit the people. And these provisions are made in the Delta State budget, and that he didn't, the provisions are there clear. So I just said I should correct that point, Mr. Leader. Now, Mr. Leader, our budget of 2026 is very, very promising, because by virtue of the new processes and how these budgets are prepared, the facts and figures are very clear in them. These facts does not look like facts in other local government. This budget is particularly for Ukwuani people. And though the structures, because of they will have a uniform structure in the local government, the structures may appear to be the same. But ours in Ukwuani is construed or captured or doctored in such a way that it will answer to the do more agenda that we have in the local government. So on the issue of salaries, we have been able to, when we looked at what we have on the projection, both the salary of the primary school teachers, council workers, the political appointees, and the elected officials of the local government and what have you. The salaries, our projection is put at 2,745,318,910 naira 56 kobo. Mr. Speaker, we also progressed to the proposed overhead for 2026. Our overhead, like I said, is a component of some of the intangible items that appear in the budget. Like, take for instance, Mr. Leader, the issue that has to do with some empowerment we have to make and some of the things we have to do that does not wear the nature of capital or capital project in nature. Another thing is incidental where our projection is 4,438,000,000 naira, 4,438,000,000 naira, and that is what we are looking at, that we'll be able to spend in the present year, 2026. Mr. Leader, we also looked at the issue of capital, which we term as social services in the year 2026. The capital, we have also looked at what we got as income or revenue in 2025. And we also see what our spending was. This year we tried as much as possible to make our budget a little bit realistic, because we cannot be making projections of funds that we know that we may not receive. So when we saw what we received from January to December, and saw what, even though we have been able in our previous year, we have been able to do some things like little investment, like the jail and transport services that are doing in the local government, which we feel that will boost our revenue base, and some of the things we have done. We are now saying that in this year, there is need for us to look at our capital project. Let us try to invest more in trying to accomplish what we have on ground and what we intend to lose. And that is put at 5,415,000,000 naira. And that is what we are proposing for the year 2026, Mr. Leader. And I tell you, Mr. Leader, why we did this is because in Ukwuani, we do not want to begin to live in what they mentioned as fool's paradise. We are trying to look at what we have received in the previous year, what our spending was, and what are we likely to receive this year. And because of that, and what will also constitute our permanent revenue this year. So it is within that, because the total figure we have this year is far lower than what we had last year. The projection last year was huge, but we looked at what been coming. Because if there's any need for money to come from any other source, we, in order to follow the constitutional procedures, we approach the House Secretary Board. What we have seen in the previous budget performance and what have we decided to pay the proposed capital projects at 4 billion, yes, I said that, and then 5,415,000,000 naira. Then, Mr. Leader, the issue of pension. Some time ago, the local governments in the Delta borrowed the sum of 4 billion naira to settle pension arrears. And as we speak, the pension arrears, people are still retiring, and the pension arrears is still growing. So, both we now said there's need for us to do projection, both for primary schools and the council workers. And we put that at 429 million naira as it were, to enable us make provisions for that. Mr. Leader, also it's interesting as it that the issue of salary and what have you, the components were also bundled so that members can see that at the end of the day. Mr. Leader, at the end of the day, the total sum figure of budget we'll be presenting today is put at 31,000,000 naira, 318,910 naira 56 kobo. Mr. Leader, that is the total sum of the budget I will be presenting before the House for consideration and necessary approval. Mr. Leader, it is important and imperative that now that I'm in the House, it is also for me to use this opportunity to clear some matters of concern, because about a week ago, about a few days ago, my office received a summons from one of the members in this House. The person of Ukwuani Victor, who is seeking the High Court of Delta State sitting here in Ukwuani for an order of mandamus, compelling me and the Treasurer of Council to do what we have just done now, and to do what we have done in 2025, and to do what we have done since I came to Council, by way of briefing you of the figures and money expended and how we received it. And he is asking the court to further compel myself to ask or direct the TAG to publish same in National Daily. Mr. Leader, it is important I bring to the knowledge of the House that, like I said, that every year we do appear before the State House of Assembly, whose constitutional mandate it is to check income and expenditure, who also has the prerogative to look into what we do in the council. Since I came to council, we have consistently been invited to perform that role. And after the performance of the role, Mr. Leader, these documents and all the account and expenditure of Ukwuani local government is being published by the Office of the Auditor General. As I speak to you, they have published in the form of booklet, it's in the internet, And these figures we mentioned here are not figures that are hidden. They're already in the internet. They're already in public space. Ordinarily, as a lawyer, I'm not allowed to comment on issues that are subject issues before the court. And that's why I'm very careful the way I'm commenting on that. Mr. Leader, my essence of bringing this item to you is for you to know that there is no impediment to the presentation of this budget as it were today. Because what was brought to me was a motion of notice. It is the process and it is straight law that when orders of that nature are to be sought from court, applicants or litigants approach the court for leave of court to file the motion on mandamus or any order they are seeking in the court. Now, the litigant or the applicant did that and he filed for an ex parte application, and the court granted him leave to file the order, to file the motion itself. So the enrollment of order that were served only borders on the leave granted him to file a motion, which our lawyers are responding to. So there's no leave debarring this solo chamber from receiving budget that intend to take care of Ukwuani people. Because we in the council, we in the executive arm feel that anybody that will stop any process of about 500 something teachers in Ukwuani that will not pay their salary. Because if we don't have instrument of budget to do so, we won't pay salary. Anybody seeking that we should not present budget to enable us pay members of these little chambers, so that Ukwuani people can be in abject poverty while their money is in limbo. I don't think such a person means well for Ukwuani people. So that is why we are deploying all our legal arsenals to see that these matters are defended. It is for the court to give the final judgment. But we have briefed our lawyer just to inform you and members, and our lawyers are doing the necessary things. We do not have any order seeking that this action should not take place today. Of course, you know that this action we are performing today is in line with the law. Therefore, Mr. Leader, I want to pray you and very distinguished members to consider the budget, the proposed budget of 2026, because there's no legal impediment to stop the process. Even though I've reiterated that anybody who wants to do so will be deemed fighting the whole of Ukwuani people. Otherwise, all we are seeking, they are asking us to do by way of going to court. We have done so, and we have all the evidence which we will deploy to the court. At this point, Mr. Leader, I want to thank you. I want to thank your members for this yet another opportunity to talk with you. You know, we don't come here all the time. We only come here on invitation, or we come here on request for your approval to come. Now that we are here, that is why we are taking all the opportunities to speak to you and tell you how far we have traveled. We are doing well on one side, and suffice, we must also state that we will continue to respect and uphold law and order. As a legal practitioner, I will not sit down and watch the law relegated to the background, because without law, of course, a society will be a state of confusion, and I will not be part of that. So we want to assure you that we will continue to respect the hollow chambers, we will continue to do the needful, particularly members' welfare packages. We will try as much as possible to meet up with the demand as they come. Of course, if you check your item clearly, Mr. Leader, and all the letters you have written me in my capacity as the chairman on issue that concerns the hollow chamber, Mr. Leader, you see that we have in fact exhausted and accomplished almost all the items there. Mr. Leader, it is our prayer that before we leave here, Mr. Leader and members will take out, even if it's 5 minutes, to praise the executive, because we are doing so well, Mr. Leader. Mr. Leader, let it not be that it's only when we have not done a particular act, that is when members are angry, but that we have done what members have requested and even done more in our own thinking, because our own thinking could be different from what you are thinking. Mr. Leader, I want to thank you. I want to pray God to continue to keep us. I want to pray God to continue to bless our leaders, and I want to pray God for Ukwuani to continue to move forward. I am your servant. I will continue to serve. I will continue to do things within the confines of the law. For those people who don't like what we are doing, please take our time to come to us. We can change. We know that through miracle, everything can be done. At this point, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to present the budget 2020-2026 to this solo chambers. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Executive Chairman of the Government. I want to seriously thank you once again for this detailed 2026 project, which is backed in more money in 2026. Thank you very much. Majority Leader, move the motion to accept this 2026 project as a working document.
The Vice Chairman, our dynamic leader, the Clerk of the House, my distinguished honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I am Honorable Gabriel Otunebogu. I represent Constituency 10 Amman. I am the majority leader of Ukwuani LGA Assembly. And in that capacity, I hereby move a motion to accept the budget of the fiscal year 2026, ably presented by the Do More Agenda Torchbearer as a working document. I so move. Thank you.
Mr. Leader, the Executive Chairman of the Government, the Vice Chairman, the Executive Group, the Clerk of the House, and my honorable colleagues, all protocols duly observed. I invite this moment to second the motion moved by the majority leader of the House. I so second.
The motion receiving enrollment plan in 2026 has been moved and it has been duly seconded. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Our dynamic leader, distinguished honorable colleagues, Executive Chairman of Council, Vice Chairman of Council, please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I'm a Melvin Nyekobota. I speak for the good people of Mutut Sekodwan. Mr. Chairman, I've been assigned to thank you so immensely and very profusely for this budget presentation. Truly, you have taken time to reel out how Ukwuani has strength in the past 1 year till today, and today we are here. You have presented the budget for 2026. We thank you so much. We're happy for this budget. We often said in this house that nobody in this house that have come from our various constituencies to be a clog in the will of progress of Ukwuani people. And what you have exhibited here is testament to that fact that we are ready to move Ukwuani forward. We want to further thank you for the good things you have done to us as a house, just like you are rightly demanded. Indeed, you have done well. There's no gainsaying about that. We thank you so much. But you know what the issue is? We always ask for more. We are on the twist. Let's continue to do more and do the part you have ever done since you became the executive chairman of Ukwuani government. On behalf of the leader and the members of this honorable house, we thank you and team, and we ask that the Lord will strengthen you to do more for Ukwuani people. Thank you all and God bless.
Honorable Councilor Solomon, Chairman Ajede, the Vice Chairman, our dynamic leader, former leader of the House, the clerk of the House, and the Distinguished Honorable Committee, the entire executive team present, ladies and gentlemen. Please, having read out all that the executive and the legislative have jointly done for the year 2025, being led by the third bearer of the Duma agenda. And then with all we have seen that is evident in our eyes, with the joy all over Ukwuani local government area, with the distribution of the dividends of democracy across the 10 INEM wards of Ukwuani local government area, especially that of the transportation that has been made easy in Ukwuani local government area, that is never seen in any local government area across the state. The ICTC built, the modern teaching complex that was built for our teachers, all other infrastructures, the Obodago Street 800 meters road, well constructed with 2-side drainage, the human capital empowerment and development. On this note, with the achievement done so far over the welfareism of this house, I, Honorable Gabriel Otunyagobo, the majority leader of Ukwuani 8th Assembly, hereby move a motion to pass explicit vote of confidence on the person of Honorable Barrister Possible Solomon Chamaka Ajede and his team, as we are very much sure that they are leading us to the promised land to develop Ukwuani local government area further in this annual OMA budget that has been presented. This vote of confidence is a merit and will be so passed. Thank you and God bless.
I'm Demon Chair. I represent the people of Nkota, District 6. I arrived this morning to support the motion ably moved by my majority leader, Honorable Gabriel Igogo, passing a vote of confidence on our executive chairman, Honorable Barrister CSP Ajede, as his upon.
Has been moved and it has also been duly seconded. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. On this note, the majority leader moved the motion to step down the list to enable us to have some photograph with the executive chairman.
The executive chairman of the local government area, our dynamic leader, the clerk of the house, distinguished honorable colleagues, all protocols duly observed. I am Honorable Gabriel Otunyagogo. I represent constituency 10, Amai. I am moving a motion to step down the maze to enable us to have a group photograph with the executives before their departure. I so move.
I am the executive chairman of Ukwuani local government area, the vice chairman, leader of the house, members of the executives, the staff clerk, and my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Joyce Anno, councilor representing the good people of Ward 13. I stand to second the motion moved by my honorable colleagues, Honorable Gabriel Otunyagobo. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against the nay. The ayes have it.
Thank you very much. Ajede nwene malo.
Ajede sir.
Biko ka fai.
Efambo Kenchoni Durel Sai. Men anoche nya akuku no Ukwuani local government council. And also Mechios and the councilor Ukwuani local government no Kekechukwu.
Welonu ko waye ndu Ukwuani ife ba meme ni uno ọrụ ọnụ kete.
Nwene maro ejoku bejoku. Ife bian be meno ife chairman na ni bian be mene okpokuru kende councilor kete. Bo ife chairman ji na-eme aswa na aswa. Ife ka wa atumini. Ife ka bo na agoshi anyị, bani ba agoshi anyị ele aswa 2026 je ka ade ka ego je ka bịa ni ka ego na atu anya ya ka ego anyị ka eri na ile anyị ka me dokumo Ukwuani ka ọma mma ni mgbada shine odokume ụnọ odokume ezuku oye ndị benyi elo ekeme na enwere ife na aro le ndika my brother
akwụkwọ na ụsọ enu kete ife oyibo na-akpa bụ budget.
yes
Olodi wesef na kunu ya ka dị rụ.
Ejoku kekete bụ wesef na ba gwa anyị she onwefu ọ bụ na akwadefu 2026 budget eno wesef na ye ọrụ anyị nwe na-etie dubu na nnefe wesen onwe ndị anyị kewofu anyị ewofu a onwe ndị anyị ketie n'ime anyị tie n'ime maka na ọdịnị mma ọsọ Ukwuani n'eziokwu bụ eziokwu inekume budget ike ife chairman Ukwuani budget ike na bụ enuọma Ukwuani 2026
anyị ndị n'ime arịkụmelụ na-arụ kpụkpọ ma na-ekwuchi chairman ọsọ ife chairman ya nụnụ ya kwụrụ na-eweri tụ na-enyocha akụmakụ nne ka ọ bụ ife na ama mma ye anyị ndị Ukwuani chekọrọ na ekpo ebe na anyị ife ndị ụwa na-ekwu
my brother ijoku bijoku mala etubo n'ụwa na-ebienu onye chọrọ ka ọ marị ka ọ bụ ichedu unele chairman ji niwese ni chedu unele anyị keme pasia with the thorough process ya bụ n'elu na ọga mbada na Ukwuani nkwa enarị sifu nekete anyị nyonye onwe na ekwu ebe dị na council anyị ndị councilor ndị dị in charge ndị na-enebanye anya ma ya ni budget na uwe na-enyocha kuma we nyotata sha we ye nye uchewe we wele yo osa ncha ba dị n'izu echi be nyocha jese before ni ba gwa ndị chairman she ebe na do ma ni fa ofunyo ni fa tien oyibo na akpa recommendation
no ba na busa ekwukwo na ya bụ budget na ekwukwo ọrụ na chairman ko riru ọrụ ni aswa osu na osu ni shi no ba na busa diko oge onegida anyị ka echegida
onwe kume oge shoge kene bụ ejigbo shi n'ọrụ na badu na-echi ka ọrụ na badu na-enwe onwe oge ife na-eme ni bụ ole na onye na nyedikele ngwa anyị n'oge ọtọ ele na onye na nyakete anyị nene anyị neteshe anyị zuji anyị wele ihe mbada aka n'uwe kpọ na House Committee on Budget when nyocha when tasha we need recommendation all these things they take days sometimes weeks it depends on elu chesamanya arụ a we chesamanya arụ asha before izuka weru izuka ko beru ụbọchị one anya kwa window check we check masanya arụ asha ndo ruo nwa but to depend elu chesamanya arụ a we check masanya arụ a oruo nwa we check masanya arụ asha oru izuka mbutu eshi ụka izuka owudi n'ime izuka ele ndika wo shegwa
kete ke oge chairman dị babasa anya afụwo shi onwenufu onye ka unu bemeni kash unu bemegera
ijoku bejoku nwene m Ukwuani she marụ chibos ikpe ama ele ma Chineke n'isu ibo isu obi ka ikpe ji na ma nwa anyị na onye ọrụ anyị na awe mọsọ nwa one ga na aga omefe asụ a anyị echiwere ikpedele na wele ebe na-eburu ụzọ na ekpele azụ na mkpemkpe ife igwe ihe ọzọ sancha dị na okpokuru kene na ya afụbanye na ọganisu Ukwuani n'ọghara ife ọka ekunu nọ ife ekunu nọ oyibo na-akpa internal house issues n'ọghara ọpụ ime ogbe ife dịka chiwe dozi n'ụlọ ejoku bejoku inelu na ajụ na agwa ụwa che chairman ba kọọ na ele asụ na asụ ise gani ọ bụ ihe nye ike asụ na asụ ishi ine kuma avwa ga na ga chairman na no ani marishe eleni kana arusa mel ni fenda harufon ni fenda bianene which he has done anu asia marishe nda as of assembly dina akpo chairman nda aso na aso wa bia local government anyị na be kpolo so ifaji ni arụ ọrụ we nene ko bu elebi ego biane karisa mena ko nwe nda anyị we ni demenu so ijoku no no kana anyị no ela ni ye ni chairman yakọ na arụ ni ime mbara ọkwani nwe ka ọ na arụ feel so do fenda no kende no junu no but onwe to bachi oji ni move motion she Ukwuani nchoni chairman bagwani she ni feel ani nchende na arugba me mebe nna ani amoro she osife chairman na arụ dinne in accordance with budget ke aso na asuse ke gaine od na arụ fe
Obeme ko ndi beme ne onenwu kike nuji beme
ijoku ine na akwụkwọ ka anyị deme na-enwe enyi na obodo adịghị iwu ada iwu kedị na ụlọ anyị agụwa n'isi sonye gara na ife a na-ekwu na ndị ekwu n'ime ogbe ba na ekwu na ka osokwu na n'ikwu chanyị na ebeme ebe na ụpụsa anyị na akwụkwọ ka osu na ama ọkụ ka ise agwa na n'isi anybody gara na ife anyị na-ekwu na akparị na n'ime ogbe chanyị na ebeme until uche ya echie agwa ono shi we wonu ne emefe mo ani wasala ye
aje mbe na gida amasokwu na anyị ni ju na ya ka mari mbe no kowa wori yosokwa no sokwa ni na ekpete onye Ukwuani trumpet
aje nwe
oge kene wolo no ma wori kene ndo Ukwuani a aje
onye ni bo onye Ukwuani ya mara me lo onye na ebi o ne imaka na mma ye bi no Ukwuani ya choka na ego ye bi no Ukwuani ya choka na ndị nwu na obi oyiye ye bi no Ukwuani so anyị dị na chukwu ni shani bo ndo Ukwuani ani nwu chukwu igwe so neke no Ukwuani na ọkwado enyi na agwashi onwe enyi na ekeneshi Ukwuani na ọnọmi enyi na ọbụna uwe anyị ndị dịle na akaba adị ele ndike nwanne m isi agwara
yo
Thank you.